Hey folks, welcome back to Canada's Boxing Channel. Hope everyone's doing well. Housekeeping item, somebody was asking, where is Coach's Corner? We had a scheduling issue, but we have resolved it, and I'm hopeful that we will get something out within the next few hours. Fingers crossed, everybody is trying to juggle schedules. As you'd probably guess, there's a time difference and, everything else, right? Life interferes. Anyhow, Partygate is still ongoing. And I don't mean the one regarding COVID. I mean the one regarding the undisputed heavyweight championship of the world fight between Oleksandr the Great Usyk, who has regained the undisputed heavyweight championship of the world, adding to his undisputed cruiserweight. So he's now a 3-time undisputed in 2 weight divisions. Amazing. And of course, Britain's Daniel Dubois, who was the IBF champion going into that fight. Anyhow, we've heard already from Joseph Parker, Lawrence Okoli, Carl Froch, of course, Johnny Nelson, Dave Allen. And now we've heard from one of my favourite fighters, former cruiserweight champion and Abertawe's own, Enzo Maccarinelli. I should say Swansea's own. Abertawe, of course, if you speak Welsh, you know that that's the Welsh word for Swansea. And he was saying a number of things which I found quite interesting. He was saying that, first and foremost, had he been the coach, this would never have happened. He addressed the party, and he addressed what I have referred as the shambolic corner. And let's back up and talk about the party. Like he thought this was absolutely insane, and he's actually said that he thinks it could have fucked up Daniel Dubois. He also said that whether you like him or not, Frank Warren really actually has, looks after his fighters and thinks about his fighters. And he, Enzo, was prepared to say that, he's pretty certain that Frank Warren wouldn't have known about that party. In fact, what he said is that Frank Warren would have sent people around to stop the party. Would have been interesting. I wonder what the relationship between Stan or Dave Dubois and Frank Warren is. Never really thought about that, but Stan Dubois is certainly a singular kind of cat. But yes, he was saying that this, Maccarinelli, that is, was saying that this is, is preposterous. I mean, I think people are running out of words to describe this. And certainly, while he doesn't think it would make he doesn't think that anything would have made any difference. But that's not the point. The point is distraction. And distraction cannot be good for fighters. As we have, discussed on this channel a number of times. If a fighter is distracted, or a sports person is distracted, how can one perform at their best? So I think we can add his name to the almost now platoon strength number of professional fighters who are out there saying, this is like, even if you've gotten away with it before and you've done it before, like this is just not the way it should be. The only person who seems, as I've said before, to be trying to soft pedal this is none other than, of course, Don Charles. And I suspect, quite frankly, that Don Charles is either acting out of a sense of loyalty, or because I'm really rather skeptical about most things, I suspect he's desperately trying to preserve his employment relationship. If he comes out and says, yeah, that was nuts, like I lost my mind, like why would this shit go on? He's probably going to find that P45 or redundancy notice is going to arrive sooner than it otherwise will. Personally, I think he's dead man walking anyhow, as far as employment status is concerned. And as you've heard me say before, I kind of hope he is. Maccarinelli was also saying, of course, that in the corner, you know, like he has actually slapped a fighter, and he's been slapped when his attention has been drifting. Because, you know, as I've said before, there's a degree of auditory exclusion under a stressful set of circumstances. You need to focus on that one voice, you know, that life preserver, if you like. And, you know, when you're gawping around and trying to get advice from somebody else, you know, get the idea? You know, the person's not concentrating. How can the fighter and the coach have that relationship if the fighter's head is on a swivel? Even if the advice from, you know, a third party over there is good advice, you want your fighter to be focused on you. So, interesting. And it was, I think it was on a channel called Boxing News, UK Boxing UK? Maybe Boxing UK. I'm terribly sorry. I really can't remember. A big channel, like, you know, many, many thousands of subscribers. Yeah, I mean, again, it seems that the preponderance of opinion from people who actually have been coaches, Maccarinelli is a coach as well as having been a great fighter, fighters, and pretty much anybody involved who's got more than half a dozen brain cells firing at the same time, thinks that this is insane. It raises a really good question. What can Daniel Dubois do going forward? Like, if this is the kind of stuff that's happening, how can we guarantee that we address this? If you're a Dubois fan, I mean, I don't hate the guy. I hated his team, but if he's to come back, surely some of these things have to be addressed. But wouldn't you love to be a fly on the wall at a meeting between Stan Dubois, Daniel Dubois, probably in the corner with crayons, Don Charles, Frank Warren, George Warren? I suspect more than half a dozen F-bombs will be dropped during that meeting. Sadly, we'll never know. Okay, folks, thanks for watching. I'll see you on the next video. Please like if you can. Please subscribe if you can. Please share if you'd like to. Cheers. Bye-bye.